You know, I write a post every morning and
Yeah.
I do them the day before.
Yeah,
And, you know, obviously automatically post them because
Yeah.
I'm not going to get up at 6 o'clock.
like me.
Well, but I am out a bit early, you know, and if I miss the post,
Yeah.
I get emails or messages to say, what happened? Did you sleep
Yeah.
in?
Oh, really?
And if I don't see your video, I
Yeah.
feel a bit the same way.
Do you?
Yeah, I watch.
Have I missed one? Have I?
No, you haven't.
How are we
not to my
going,
knowledge.
everybody? Craig Castry's here. We're going to be
G'day,
talking about all things gardening and something special coming up as well. But back to the posting.
Yes.
Every morning. I've done it now since I stopped television a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I've done
Couldn't
it.
be that long, is it?
It's been 2 years, mate.
My God.
Since COVID kicked in, I stopped travelling, and we did one series, I think, in between, or a couple of episodes, a few episodes, but then we said it's all too hard.
Yep.
And then we started filming here, and everybody's been following, and like yourself, have been watching every morning or thereabout. But have I missed one? I can't remember if
Not
I've
to
ever.
my knowledge.
Damn.
You might have, due to bad weather, might have rehashed an old one,
Yeah,
but that's about it. But every morning religiously, it's been
2 years.
It's been there. So
730 posts almost. By the end of this year, it'll be that. Let's just work on the 1st of
we'll
January.
join the club because I do it in two groups.
What do you do?
Well, I do Grow Your Own Food and Edible Gardens by Craig Castry on Facebook.
So you have
So
two
I do
groups.
two posts, yeah.
You segregated your
Well, no,
followers.
I didn't. Not intentionally. I didn't try to cause any division. Believe me.
Okay, but
But it happened. Yeah. But there was people that were interested in, you know, being self-sufficient and some of the cheese making and stuff that I do.
Gotcha.
And then there was the people that weren't.
Okay.
So they wanted to grow your own food. So I,
you had to separate the
separated
cheese
the
from the grass.
well, to some degree, you
Yeah.
know, self-sufficiency, and then
I see
and
cheese
in my
come from
vote,
grass-fed cows, mate. and sheep.
well,
It's all networked.
well, you're doing some of that here.
I know, I am. I know. Yeah.
I've just got to get you into the cheese making.
Oh, please don't.
So
I'm actually.
I'm sure your wife would be very appreciative.
Totally over the moon. Would probably live another 100 years or be married for 100 years because of that. I thought and I've contemplated the idea of putting a small vineyard in, but I know what the ultimate result will be. Me pissed every day.
And me behind you.
Yeah. Anyway, we're here in a little courtyard. Craig's come over today, dropped off something special.
Yes.
What have you got here?
It's a new book out this week.
Yep.
Called Edible Gardening Secrets.
Edible Gardening Secrets. Now, first book you released was Edible Gardens.
A practical guide.
A practical
through you.
guide, yep.
You were the cause of all of this.
And I still haven't finished doing my books. How do you like that? Everybody else is ahead of me, but that's okay. Our magazine's out, by the way. So tell me about, a practical guide. Then we came on to...
The next one was Plant Profiles.
Yes.
And that was really stemmed from the daily posts on Facebook.
Yep.
I was doing a profile of a plant per day, you know, talking about a bit of its history,
characteristics, its history,
how to grow it, you know,
what it needs,
its companion plants, things
The
that it was
benefits.
susceptible to, So
benefits out of it, and then you follow.
And people wanted me to, where can we get a printed copy of this? So I thought, okay, time for a book.
Okay.
And
There is a division. Sorry for cutting you off. There are people who love hard copies.
Yeah.
And if you are out there, send us an email. We're not sending you a free copy, but let us know who you are so we can entice you into one of these. Anyway, get back to the next book.
So, I put out an e-book of that as well.
What did you?
Yeah. So, but you're right, people did want both.
Yeah.
And it's handy, the e-book, because they can go into a nursery, because they don't have the book, and they go, oh, okay, so what goes well with this?
Yeah. Bang.
And it's there.
Yeah.
And then one that I'd been working on straight after my first book, A Simple Urban Life, was really about self-sufficiency and a bit of exposure about what's happened to our food system. You know, we've been very disconnected from our food, as you know. We talk about it all the time. I mean,
it does my head in. It really does my head in how we just don't realise how simple it is to have an urban life, a simple urban life in your garden.
We have complicated it so much, and we now don't have any control over what we're putting in our families' mouths.
No.
And unfortunately, it gets worse than that, because when you see behind the scenes of what is happening to our food, including fruit, vegetables, it's not just meat and the like.
No, we've
it's
on a serious note, mate, you know, I've travelled all over the place, so have you, and I've seen a lot of growers in my time, you know, and some of them are a little bit shady. I won't name anybody, but the fact is that they're out there to make a living. But bottom line is they're making it at the expense of our health, the betterment of our health.
And look, a lot of corners are cut, you know.
And it's not just them doing it on their own accord. Sometimes they're pressured by the transport industries, by the end retail user. And if you've got a big corporate giant that's got multiple stores across the nation, they want to buy out all your produce. You've got 5,000 acres of fruit trees. Right, and they said there has to be in this size, this consistency, this shape, no blemishes. Yeah, they've woken up now because they've got their R&D and marketing teams turning around saying, hey guys, we're going to go a bit more organic now. The same corporation that's been poisoning us are saying, now we're going to go organic now, so we've got to have some blemishes in the fruit because that's what people want.
So we've now got the...
Oh, now we've got the not quite ripe batch, have we? Really? Right, but we've educated everybody and trained everybody to go shop and saying, oh no, that's got a bit of a blemish, I'm going to pick that one there.
The problem with that facility is they're all grown the same way. Force-fed fertilisers, they're sprayed, 6 to 8 times from paddock to plate. They're picked often, unvine ripened. They're artificially...
It's been a long time since I had goosebumps. We're talking about something that's close to my heart. That's true, you're right. You mentioned to me about strawberries. How many types of chemicals go into a strawberry? Was it like...
It's a joke.
Was it you who told me? It was about 40 or 50 different...
It's about 55 different
concoctions, chemicals put into a little humble strawberry plant so that they can grow it and bring it to you into those little plastic containers, which by the time you take home have already rotted. Right?
And that's the other thing. Most of the food that you're buying is close to spoil. It's, when I pick a strawberry, it doesn't go in the fridge.
No, it doesn't.
Never put your strawberries in a fridge. Keep them out on the bench, where they're going to get a bit of air and a little bit of sun, and they'll last a long time. The minute you put them in the fridge, it's game over. And particularly when you're buying them, not picking them, they're close to spoil.
They're a hot climate plant.
Correct.
So you go to freeze it, you may as well freeze it rather than just fridge it.
Absolutely.
And that way you've got a cold snap freezing on it. So that's the backstory, folks, about our plant life and our food source. And you hear me every morning, and Craig does his own group. He's got a massive group following him as well. It's about education and sharing the like of what we love doing here in our gardens, our backyards, and from people all over Australia that I've had the pleasure of travelling and experiencing, who grow things for their family as naturally as possible. Now, I know that everybody can grow, not everybody has the ability or the space or the accommodation to be able to do all this, but there's no reason why you can't have a plant, maybe two. If you've got a balcony, I've done, Cecilia comes to mind, in Kensington, balcony courtyard garden, balcony garden. 40, 50 plants come to mind that she had on that balcony. They weren't the biggest of plants, but they were still there for her. Most of them edibles and green life. And lettuce, look at that. I've got a pile of lettuce, or a tray of lettuce there. It's going to go to spoil, but at the end of the day, I'm going to pull half a dozen of those out, or a dozen of them, stick them in the ground. The other half will chuck into a blender or into a fruit and microgreens.
Yeah, that's it.
It doesn't have to be anything specific.
I mean, you've been to my place plenty of times, 500 square metres, and we grow enough food in there to feed nearly 3 families. It's just ridiculous. It's amazing what you can do. You don't need a big property to... And
it's not all garden. You've got 2/3 of your property, if not a little bit more, is house and covering. But you've got 150 squares, I reckon, at least.
Maybe.
But that 150 squares, if a tomato, in 1 square metre you can put 10 plants. Let's say that.
I have in terms of fruit varieties on site, I have over 61 varieties.
In 500 square metres, I'm on 20 acres and I've got 300 trees. If you do the ratios, you're way outnumbering what I do per square metre.
So 61 varieties of fruit.
That's crazy.
So,
and that's not taking up all your garden space, because they're all grafted.
I'm still finding places to I can grow things. and all graft. That's exactly right. So this book really I've taught you how to put together an edible garden.
You taught me how to?
No. In the first book, not you. I know you know.
I think I know. You've taught me a lot.
So it's a guide to put together your own garden, an edible one, that is. And then Plant Profiles teaches you how to grow what you put in it.
Yes.
And this troubleshoots what you put in there.
All the secrets.
So there's all sorts of things, like blossom enrobed.
I just saw it.
Okay, so you know how to net fruit trees.
That's it.
You know how to make a branch grow where you want it on the nearest bay by notching. how to grow seeds properly. You know, what
Pest
depth do you
control.
put your seeds?
Pest control.
Pest control, disease. What can you do to keep bugs off your plants?
Preventing pests and diseases.
So
you don't get enough from our daily post, folks. You can get it as a hard copy. Our Edible Garden Secret, it's out now.
Yep.
Available on our website and Craig Castry's website as well. That's craigcastry.com.au.
Yep.
Correct? And vasilisgarden.com. No AU on the end of that there.
That's it. So they're the only places you can get it.
That's it. So we'll flog these off, and I'm sure many people will enjoy. Look, just a couple of tips that I've seen in here already, worth its weight in gold, actually, as far as being able to grow your fruit trees and pest control. I see you've got your espalier work going on here too, vase shape. Okay.
All the different types of shapes of pruning and so forth.
Nice. You got the north, south, east, west. So you got 4 different trees growing there technically. Well,
heights of pruning, you know, hip height, knee height, hip height, chest height.
Yeah, what about for the tall guys like us?
High as you can reach standing flat-footed, mate, that's it. You've done all right, look, they're not too bad.
Not too, well, that's this spring's growth, that's going to come off soon. So we're looking at a plum tree, double plum grafted that is. That's fruited well. You spotted a couple of plums on this side, didn't you? Yeah. And the apple trees, well, there's 1,000 apples on each one, and as you would say, thin them out so you can enjoy some big ones. Well,
that's it.
Yeah, it'll thin itself out a little bit. And then
look,
maybe
they do that. They drop what they can't ripen.
Yeah.
You know, so, and look, when you've got as many fruit trees as you have,
I don't need to have.
I don't know that you've got the time to be out there thinning, but for those of us that have got the time, it's a necessary thing to do.
It is. Look, I'm not doing it for production purposes to make a living out of it. It's more in the enjoyment factor. If anything, we'll end up juicing 90% of this, making jams and relishes and things like that. We can. And enjoy the rest of it. But folks, Edible Gardening Secrets is out now on our website, mine and Craig's website, and check out our Facebook posts if you're watching this on YouTube. Craig's got one of his own, join the group, where you receive lots of information shared daily. Now, it is the weekend, so the Yarra Valley Plant Fair is on. I'm down there today and tomorrow. Garden talk, presentation on stage. We've also got our stand there. All the wonderful stuff you see on our website that we promote every day discounted while they're there. Discounted again, but if you can't get out there, well, go to the website vasilisgarden.com. We've got a coupon code Yarra Valley is the discount, and you get up to 50% off everything online. And if you want to get some great deals from Craig's website, that's craigcastry.com.au.
That's the one.
That's the one. And don't forget to subscribe, vasilisgarden.com.
Check out the magazine.
The maggots, they're out there.
The magazine is out.
It's in circulation. I've got to get you a copy because you're here now. All the VIPs, your magazines have been packed and they're being shipped out by Australia Post. So next week you should be getting something. From next week onwards, they'll be getting delivered to all the homes across Australia. There's thousands out there going out there, but you still got a few days to subscribe to get your summer edition as your first issue. So check it out, vasilisgarden.com, craigcastries.com.au. From me, Vasili, Maresi.